That's okay. I know she's supposed to. That's all right. Well, thank you, Dusty, for my introduction. And thank you guys for all being here. November 1st, Lung Cancer Awareness Month. So usually I start off a conversation. You guys know it. I say, who wakes up in the morning and says they want to be a lung cancer advocate? Besides the people in here. But even that, would you really want to wake up and do it? That's just part of your job. If you had a choice, you might just say, nah, no, not really. But if you had a choice, would you just wake up and say, I want to do it? And I think that's the real key is nobody's doing that. Nobody's waking up in the middle of the night and saying, man, I found my purpose. I found my purpose. I'm going to be a lung cancer advocate. For me, no different. I think that's so important that we're honest about where people stand. And we have the survey that was out. And if you guys want to see that survey in action on the streets, we got a video that I did a few years ago with Man on the Street in Denver. We went out with a microphone and we asked people a similar question: what's the biggest cancer killer? And pretty much they were all wrong, because they're going to be. Because unless we educate people, unless we let them know, they only can say what they do know, right? And so for myself, what did I know about lung cancer until my wife was diagnosed in December of 2010? What did I know? And she's 37 years old and amazing, in shape, challenged me to do P90X and run a 10K. What did I know, right? I knew smoking and lung cancer. And I knew that. We'll get a history on that, but I knew that because that's what I've been told, just like so many other people have been told essentially since 1964 when the Surgeon General announced that smoking and cancer went together, which the default was lung cancer. That's all I knew. I was ignorant to the rest of the things. I didn't know that anyone could get it until it came into my house, until it came and got my wife, until my wife was diagnosed and she's stage 4 lung cancer. Did it really sink in that this could happen to anyone? Stage 4 lung cancer. You find out that too many people are diagnosed at late stage. Stage 4 lung cancer. But that's very common at this late stage. We find that out. We found out that the 5-year survival rate of what it is not real good, which is why, unfortunately, my wife passed after 1 year. But at the same time, during that period, we found out that there were tremendous innovation and changes that were happening. Now, unfortunately, my wife wasn't able to benefit from those, but in 2011, some of the most amazing things happened with the National Lung Cancer Screening Trial being approved. It really said that lung cancer screening is beneficial, which somebody else in my family who served in the military could have benefited from, my uncle, who unfortunately passed from lung cancer. We learned about some of the new targeted therapies from EGFR and ALK. Xalkori was approved in 2011. My wife was negative for those, but because of biomarker testing, we at least knew she was negative for them, and we at least had a chance to be able to get them. And so, before she passed away, we were able to get married, and so I said we had this journey together, but that journey that was a cancer journey turned into something that was bigger, and that bigger happened at our, right before our wedding when my wife came to me and said, how about we don't get presents, but we ask people to give to the foundation so we can fight against cancer. And on that day, she changed from just an advocate to fight for herself. She changed to an advocate to fight for others. And that's what I see in this room. I see people that have committed to fighting for other people. And you have to see that as a difference because not everybody's willing to do that. That is a process that people have to go through. My wife did that. And so when we got done, when she passed and we had, the NFL had reached out and said, what can we do? And, we had this team draft initiative that started at our wedding that was started with my wife, that was inspired by my wife. And we knew that we had to, if we were honest about what was going on, because of me playing in NFL for a long time, that the biggest thing, if you're going into a battle, you have to be honest. And what was the honesty? The honesty is that people are ignorant, that they just don't know, not that they are just actively trying to get in the way of lung cancer. And so how do we make sure that they understand that research matters? Is that we have to tell them. Now, how do you make it where they feel like it could matter to them? Is that we have to show them. And that's through our survivors. And so the commitment of Team Draft has been to go and recruit our survivors all over our country. The games create a space where we're able to show that football is family. And with that football is family, we build a connection with our community. But our survivors are key to making sure that people can relate to the disease. And when they relate to the disease, then they care about the disease. And then we have to make it clear to them that research matters. That's what we're trying to do. Get our advocates, get our survivors, make sure people can understand anyone can get it, help them believe it, help it sink in, and then make sure they understand that research matters. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys.